guys, welcome back to another episode of my Batman costume tutorial. This is part 3, and what we're going to attempt today is make the muscle shirt. We're also going to make the pants, and what I used for this was a thermal looking grey top. I really like the texture in this, and what I've also used is a blue t-shirt that I've put underneath it. And what I'm going to do is actually pin certain areas of it, which is going to be easy for it to sew. Because what I plan to do is put some padding in between. The first thing that I'm going to do is make a line down the center, and that way I'm going to start sketching out the chest and the abs area, and I'm using a reference picture for this. So it should look something like this. And what I'm going to do next is get some 1-inch high density foam. You can find this at most craft or fabric stores, and I'm going to use 1-inch foam for the abs and 2 inches for the chest. If you can't find 2 inches, you can just double up the 1 inches. And what I'm actually going to do is put this in between the grey shirt and the blue shirt. So once I sew it, pretty much everything else will be held together. I also made some muscles for the tops of the arms. I'm not going to really worry about the bottoms because they're going to be hidden by gloves. So this is what it kind of looks like. And as you can see here, the stitching has pretty much held all the padding in. I was going to go with EVA floor foam mats, but I thought that was going to be a little bit too hard. I've got a little bit more movement than this. So I'm really liking the way that this is looking so far. So you can use this as a basis for any muscle shirt. But now what I'm going to do is work on the Batman logo. And I found this vinyl material. I really liked it because it was kind of shiny and had some really cool grains on it that I thought I'd use for the logo. So first I actually sketched out on some Bristol card, and I folded it in half, and I just kind of measured it up where it would sit on the chest. And then what I did, I cut it out and folded the other half open, so it just kind of sits like this. And now what I'm going to do is use this as a template. I'm going to actually with some white chalk sketch out on some black fabric, and I cut this out, but making sure that I've left a little bit of space because I'm actually going to stitch it over. Now to add some of the details around the chest and the ab area, I used this grey parachute cord. This is pretty cheap, I got it from Walmart, and what I did, we just hand stitched it pretty much all the way through, just all around the muscle areas. And what my wife did next, she actually pinned the Batman logo to the chest. But what we did, as you can see with the white foam here just underneath, we cut that out to size the same shape as the template, because we was going to originally just stitch on the fabric, but I like the fact that this foam would actually puff the logo out, so it would kind of be a bit 3D and stand out. So what you want to do is just hand stitch this real slow, and please make sure that you don't prick your finger because it's gonna hurt. I know, that's why I got my wife to stitch it. And what you do, you just kind of take out each pin at a time, because the great thing about these pins and with the yellow heads, it will just hold everything together while you're trying to hand stitch it. So this is what it kind of looks like, guys, so far. I'm going to come in and airbrush some details just to make it pop out a little bit more. But I'm really happy with how this is looking so far. You could use this for the Nightmare Batman cosplay, but I am also going to make the pants for the full Batman suit. So please stick around, guys. We're going to be doing a lot more tutorials in this costume and some others. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you real soon.